Hello! So as part of today's session, we are going to be reading a book, and then after this video is over, just wait for further instruction, and we will either talk about it or do another activity or whatever it may be. So we are going to read Ben Rides On. Now that he had the bicycle of his dreams, Ben Lucan loves going to school. With his gleaming new machine, he could take the long way, or perhaps the very long way. And maybe even the very, very long way. It was arriving at school that Ben hated. Sadly, Adrian Underbright, perhaps the world's largest third grader, didn't seem to like Ben very much. But Adrian didn't like nice things. After watching Adrian ride off on his prized possession, Ben was devastated and late for class. As his teacher explained that the earth revolved around the sun, Ben's thought revolved around his bike and seeking revenge against Adrian. When the school bell finally rang, Ben began his journey home on foot. He hadn't gone very far when he heard a very peculiar sound, which caused him to launch into immediate investigation. Whereupon he quickly discovered his stolen bike, and also Adrian. Who appeared to be in a significant spot of trouble. How extraordinarily terrible, Ben thought to himself. Ben dusted off the bent-up bicycle and continued on his way, satisfied that Adrian would curiously dangle from the tree branch for all eternity. But something made him stop. And just when Adrian thought he could not hold on for any longer, a very familiar green and white hoodie appeared. Adrian reached up and grabbed on for dear life. Hauling the big galoot proved to be a challenge, but Ben pulled Adrian to safety, with some help from a friend. Exhausted, Adrian slowly rose to his size 10 feet and appeared momentarily to be quite puzzled. Then, suddenly, without warning, he lunged like an airborne walrus towards his rescuer. While Ben braced for the horrible impact, Adrian made off with the damaged bike. Ben couldn't believe it. Worn out and feeling a bit sick, he turned on and headed home. Ben didn't get much sleep that night. The following morning, he still had only one thing on his mind, the very thing that someone had carefully leaned against in front of his gate. And it had been repaired almost perfectly.